If this issue isn't resolved, I would not let my fighter into the ring.
Hey, look up this young fighter called the Monster.
Inoue, he scared me. Come on, you next.
攻撃再びまたしても2ラウンドノックアウトし
No way, you are no monster. I'm a rare monster.
The first mistake was disrespect. Not subtle disrespect. Not competitive bravado dressed up for cameras. This was the kind of dismissal that lingers, the kind that hardens into motivation. When Naoya Inoue was supposedly protected by hype, something fundamental was misunderstood. This was not a prospect trying to sneak past a gatekeeper. This was a man who had already rewritten history 3 weight classes deep. A fighter whose calm exterior masked a violence so precise it felt inevitable. And yet, heading into Tokyo, the narrative was loud, confident, and unmistakably American. Stephen Fulton was a slick king at 122 pounds, undefeated, unified, and fully convinced that skill and size would finally expose the so-called monster. What followed was not just a fight. It was a reckoning. By the time Inoue arrived at junior featherweight, his reputation was already carved into boxing's modern mythology. The war with Nonito Donaire in the World Boxing Super Series had changed him. That first fight was brutal, punishing, and humanizing. It showed that Inoue could bleed, could be tested, could be hurt. But it also showed something far more important. He could adapt under fire. He could survive chaos and still impose order. The rematch erased any lingering doubt. Donaire was dismantled with surgical cruelty, every adjustment perfected, every mistake punished. That was not redemption. That was evolution. From there, Inoue did not drift. He accelerated. Jason Maloney was supposed to be durable. He was knocked out violently. Paul Butler arrived with a belt and left with nothing but respect for the inevitability of what happened in front of him.
11 rounds of pressure, angles, and punishment ended with Inoue undisputed at bantamweight.
All 4 belts. No controversy. No debate. The first Asian fighter in history to accomplish it. And still it was not enough. Inoue wanted the next throne. He wanted the king at 122 pounds. Stephen Fulton was not a paper champion. He had earned his status the hard way. His rise was built in wars. Angelo Leo pushed him in a phone booth fight that tested his resolve. Brandon Figueroa dragged him into another brutal unification where pressure and volume were relentless. Fulton survived both. He adapted. He won. He unified titles and built a reputation as a slick, intelligent operator with a sharp jab and confident swagger. But swagger became arrogance. As the fight approached, the tone shifted. Fulton leaned into the size narrative. Too big. Too strong. Too American. The subtext was obvious. Inoue was great, but only because of where he came from, because of novelty, because of hype. At the face-offs, words were exchanged in close quarters. Security hovered. Inoue remained silent, eyes steady, posture relaxed. He had heard this before. And every time, the ending had been the same. Then came the accusations. Fulton's team publicly questioned Inoue's hand wraps, suggesting illegal padding, excessive tape, and unfair advantage. It was an old boxing tactic. Seed doubt early. Create an exit strategy. If this issue wasn't resolved, they said, they would not let their fighter enter the ring. On fight night, the wraps were monitored inch by inch. Every layer observed. Everything was legal. No tricks. No shortcuts. No excuses remained. Only fists. From the opening bell in Tokyo, the tone of the fight shattered expectations. Inoue did not probe. He did not feel his way in. He came forward with intent, but not recklessness. His feet were active. His guard tight. His eyes locked. Fulton tried to establish his jab, the weapon everyone said would control the fight. Inoue beat him to it every time. Not with speed alone, but with timing that disrupted rhythm before it could settle. The jab to the body landed early and often. It was not flashy, but it was destructive. Each one stole a little air, a little balance, a little confidence. Fulton attempted to circle, to get on his bike, but Inoue cut him off with frightening efficiency. The ring shrank. Angles disappeared. What looked like patience was actually a trap closing. By the second round, The power announced itself. A right hand slipped through the guard and snapped Fulton's head back. Then another. Then a combination. The sound mattered. The thud of leather against bone echoed through the arena. A reminder that this was not theoretical power. This was real. Fulton tasted it and instinctively retreated. The bigger man was backing up. The boxer was being outboxed. Round by round, the pattern deepened. Inoue's jab was not just a rangefinder. It was a weapon that set everything else up. Upstairs, downstairs, left hook behind it, right hand over the top. Fulton tried to stand mid-range, tried to counter, but hesitated. And in boxing, hesitation is death. He was there, but he would not pull the trigger. Fear crept in, not panic, but respect sharpened into caution. By the third round, uncertainty had taken root. Fulton's footwork slowed. His jab lost authority. Inoue, meanwhile, grew calmer. He never wasted punches. He never rushed. His combinations were compact, efficient, and delivered with bad intentions. Every miss was minimal. Every landed shot meant something. Fulton's corner urged him forward. He tried. For brief moments, he showed flashes of why he was champion. A right hand landed. Combination. Slipped through. But every success was answered immediately. Inoue returned fire without delay, without emotion. The message was constant. Nothing would go unanswered. As the rounds progressed, the numbers told the story. Inoue's output increased steadily. His confidence grew not from dominance alone, but from control. He dictated where the fight happened. When Fulton attempted to move laterally, Inoue shut the door. When he tried to trade, Inoue was faster. When he tried to reset, Inoue was already there. The sixth round was pivotal. Fulton, already behind, tried to exchange more aggressively. He landed a solid shot that momentarily reminded everyone that Inoue could be touched. But touching him came with consequences. Inoue's right hand crashed through moments later, buzzing Fulton, snapping his posture, forcing him back into survival mode. The crowd sensed it. The commentators sensed it. The inevitability began to settle over the arena. What made the performance frightening was not just the power. It was the intelligence behind it. Inoue adjusted constantly. He shifted levels. He manipulated distance. He never allowed Fulton to establish rhythm. The speed to close the gap was unnatural. The torque in his punches came from perfect balance and positioning. This was not brute force. This was mastery. By the seventh round, blood appeared on Fulton's face. His stance widened. His base became heavier, making it harder to get in and out. That was exactly what Inoue wanted. The jab pierced again. The right hand followed. Fulton's answers grew fewer. His defense absorbed punishment, but absorption is not defense forever. Everyone in the building knew what was coming. Round 8 arrived like a sentence being read aloud. Inoue stepped forward behind the jab, changed levels, and fired a right hand that hurt Fulton badly. The unified champion staggered, reaching for ropes that offered no escape. Inoue chased him down with the instinct of a natural finisher. This is where careers end. This is where excuses disappear. The final onslaught was violent and precise. Punches came in waves, each one placed with intent, each one breaking resistance rather than merely scoring points. Fulton tried to hold, tried to survive. There was no surviving this. A right hand over the top sealed it. The referee stepped in. It was over. No controversy. No doubt. In his first fight at 122 pounds, Naoya Inoue did not ask for a tune-up. He went straight for the undefeated unified champion and broke him. The man who was supposed to expose him became another chapter in his legend. Another division conquered. Another warning issued to everyone watching closely. The significance extended beyond belts. Inoue became a 4-division world champion. He did it on enemy expectations. He did it under scrutiny. He did it by dismantling a fighter many believed was his stylistic nightmare. And he did it in Tokyo, stamping his dominance in front of a crowd that understood exactly what they were witnessing. This was not just about Stephen Fulton losing. It was about the end of a narrative. The idea that Inoue's success depended on size advantages or favorable matchups collapsed completely. The idea that slick boxing alone could neutralize him was dismantled punch by punch. The monster was not hype. He was inevitability. As the dust settled, the implications became impossible to ignore. If Inoue could do this at 122, what would happen at 126? The thought sent ripples through the lower divisions. Champions took notes. Contenders reconsidered. The throne had a new owner, and he was not interested in sharing it. Disrespect had fueled this. Accusations had sharpened it. But skill decided it. Speed, timing, power, intelligence, violence applied with purpose.
This fight will be remembered not just as a stoppage, but as a statement. The night Naoya Inoue arrived in a new weight class and made it clear that size, talk, and reputation mean nothing when mastery walks forward without fear. If you stayed with this story, let us know what you think. Was this the most complete performance of Inoue's career, or is the best still ahead? Do you believe he can dominate at 126 the same way? Drop your thoughts below. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed this deep dive fight breakdown. Subscribe for more long-form boxing documentaries like this, and turn on notifications so you never miss when history gets written again.